Welcome to Port Royal Speedway, night number 4 of the Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Series. My name's Chris Murphy here with DRSN. Happy to be here with you once again. Like I said, race number 4 of the 9-race season, and we have had some bar burners going on so far. So let's take a look real quick at the current point standings coming into tonight. Aiden Forrester's yet to win a race, but he has been Mr. Consistent up towards the front every single week. Leading the points right now at 4-1. Tanner Pettit right there behind him picked up the win last week at Charlotte, up to second. Spencer Putney, another consistent runner all season long, up in the top 3. Bryce Heinstein, Mason Hannigan rounds out our top 5. Then it's Rylan Gray, Michael Sheridan, Ryan Avila. I don't see Ryan. Ryan is here tonight. He picked up the win at Houston a couple of weeks ago. Then it's Michael Sheridan, it's Brandon Stewart, Alex Roszinski, Bowen Smith, Trevor Royer, Austin Griffey, and Matthew Roger tied back there for the 13th spot. Gavin Chatham in 15th. Parker Leak, Andrew May, Joseph Grady, Jay Schaaf, and A-Case going to round out our top 20. So we've had 3 different races, 3 different winners. Week number 1 at Knoxville was Tyler Shell. We've yet to see Tyler make it back for any of the 360 sprint races. He has been running the 410s on Thursday nights, but we have not seen him make any more of the 360 events since then. And as we said, Ryan picked up the win 2 weeks ago at Houston, and then last week it was his Tanner Pettit Racing teammate Tanner Pettit taking home the win at Charlotte. So we got about 3 minutes left here in practice warm-up, and then we're going to get into qualifying. It looks like everybody is off the racetrack right now. They're having their drivers meeting, so we'll just take a nice scenic look here at the Port Royal Speedway. Big long straightaway half mile. This kind of reminds me of a track I grew up at, Manzanita Speedway down in Phoenix. Just a fast racetrack. Walls on the inside, walls on the outside. We're going to see some great 360 sprint car action here tonight with, once again, some of the top drivers in all of iRacing. But let's take a look at the rest of the schedule here for the Dirty Old Bastards. Next week, we go back to another historic speedway at Eldora on the 14th, and we head out to California to Kyle Harvick's Kern Raceway on the 21st. 28th, we come back to the state of Pennsylvania from Williams Grove, Cedar Lake. Nice little short track action on the 5th, and we're going to finish the season off heading down to Florida. I really wish I was heading to Florida in May, but Volusia Speedway for 35 laps. That is going to be the remainder of the DOB schedule. Let's take a look at the format tonight. I don't have a great graphic for you, so we'll just kind of go over it. But it looks like we've got roughly about 45, 46 cars entered here tonight. That's more than likely going to put us into a C main. I don't know if we'll need a D or not. But we'll run 5 8-lap heat races. Well, before that, we're going to have 2 laps of qualifying for each driver, which is going to come rolling out here in about 2 minutes. Then we'll run 5 8-lap heat races. Top 4 from each heat will make the feature. The next 4 will go to the B, and then on back we'll go to the C main. Then we'll take 4 from each of the consolation races, 4 from the C to the B, 4 from the B to the A, to make a 24-car feature here tonight for 30 laps. 30 laps here at Port Royal. All right, drivers meeting getting finished up here. We're going to see our drivers start to make their way onto the racetrack for qualifying 2 laps. See who can put down the fastest time here. And the heat race lineups are top 4 inverted as well, so that kind of shakes it up just a little bit. So if you can qualify, like 12th or something, that puts you up towards the front of a heat race somewhere. All right. Looks like we got some drivers making their way out on the racetrack. We see the 5 of Joseph Grandy out here. Going to try to get his laps in. We see a bunch of drivers making their way on the racetrack. The 7 of Hannigan on the timing and scoring. He'll show us the 101, but he's actually 7 on the car. We have that quite a bit here with iRacing if you're not familiar with it. Michael Sheridan in the 15, also getting his laps in. Take a look at the 90 of Trevor Royer. Last week's winner, Tanner Pettit, coming out here in the 24. New paint job for Tanner. Car was white last week. Scheme's always the same. They just change the colors on it. And Grandy's going to go across the line to take top spot at a 16:02. Spencer Putney's going to come right back into second. Let's get our fast times up on the timing and scoring for you. A-Case with a great time. He goes to the top of the charts at a 15:90, 15:897 to be exact. Right there behind him, Connor Dudek, Richie Gaines, and Ryan Avila is going to come across and take that top spot away from Case at a 15:803. We find somebody else on the racetrack. Here's Kenny Hoffman. Kenny did not have some good luck. Did not make the feature last week in this one car. Let's see if Kenny can come across the line and see where he comes up. Ryan Avila still at the top. Landon Crawley's now going to take that second spot away. Kenny Hoffman back, going to look like he's done with his laps. He's going to come in the 8th spot. Mason Hannigan up to 6th. Just about everybody make their laps. Aiden Forrester not happy with his lap. Way back there in 16th. But like we said with the invert, that may put him up towards the front. And that is going to round out qualifying. That was a quick round of qualifying. It's pretty... try to jump around as much as we can, but it's tough to catch the cars. They just be kind of cool if we actually had a qualifying one night where everybody was just on the racetrack by themselves. All right, and we waste no time here at the DOB 360 Sprint Series. We're going to roll right into heat race number 1. Pull up our starting lineup here for heat race number 1 on the pole. So Aiden qualified 16th. He timed that pretty well. Puts him on the pole for the first heat race to his outside. Joseph Grandy starting in the third row. In the third position inside of row number 2. Mason Hannigan. Ryan Avila back there in 4th. JP Schreider in the 5th spot. Outside of him starting in 6th is Johnny Vaughn. Chris Schaefer in 7th. Dustin Steinman back in the 8th starting spot. Austin Griffey and Jacob Boxell. That is going to be our 10 starters here for heat race number 1. Still got a few drivers yet to make their way out onto the racetrack. See Hannigan there in the 7, right there in front of Aiden Forrester on the pole. We'll see how this track develops throughout the night. Tends to be quick up on the top, but if you can get that bottom working in, you can really make up some time down there. So we're going to see how this comes out tonight. The track will change as the night goes on. All right, we're going to go around 2 laps here behind the pace truck. All right, Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Series brought to you by Steinman Gallo Racing, sponsoring the whole entire season for the 360 Sprints. EPI Elite Performance Industries. If you're looking for some setups, any iRacing setups you're looking for, check out Elite Performance Industries. They will help you out. It's kind of hard to see that wall in 3 and 4. You need to get some shovels out there and scrape some lines in it like we used to do back in the old days. All right, we're going to come across the line here one more time. Forrester and Grandy going to start us off here in heat race number 1. All right, down the back straightaway here. Get our heat race action started tonight. Long pace laps here. They could pretty much just go around here one time in these here at Port Royal, the long racetrack. All right, let's see where Forrester starts us off. Pace trucks pull down in. And we're green flag here at Port Royal for the Dirty Old Bastards, and it's Forrester with a big jump into 1. He's got about 4 or 5 carnets. Hannigan's going to slide up in front of Grandy, take that second spot. Look at Ryan Avila down there on the bottom, trying to find a way around Grandy. Looks like Forrester's like in the bottom of the racetrack. Up on the top, we can see Johnny Vaughn trying to make that top line work. But right now, the bottom really seems to be working for Forrester in 3 and 4. Moves up to the cushion through 1 and 2. Hannigan right there behind. We got it right behind him. It looks like Vaughn's going to go upside down. Vaughn going for a ride. We will not have a caution here. But Vaughn is going to tumble all the way down the back straightaway into turn number 3. In the meantime, it's Forrester still out in front. Mason Hannigan in tow. Joseph Grandy in the 3rd spot. Avila back to 4th. Hannigan find a little bit different line through 3 and 4. He gets a good run off of 4. Does he have anything for Forrester under 1? He kind of slides up a little bit. but not able to take it away. And you can see the dust already coming off the right rear. And here comes Hanning with a big slide into 3. He is going to take the top spot away. Forrester cuts back up underneath off of 4. Nice move there from Hannigan. Forrester going to drop down in 1 and 2. Block off that slide from Hannigan. They settle back in 1 and 2. Grandy still back there in 4th. Avila's just not been able to find a way around the 5 of Grandy. Here from Hannigan with another good run off of 4. He's going to look to the bottom down the front straightaway. 3 laps left to go. Going to take the lead back from Forrester. Forrester does not quite have the momentum to make the cut back underneath off of 2. They hit it a 3-4. Hannigan goes down to the bottom. He's going to slide up to the top of the racetrack. Here comes Forrester. Hannigan with a mistake gets into the wall. That's going to let Forrester get by him here down the front chute. Down into 1. They're going to both go to the bottom of the racetrack. 2 to go. It's Forrester and Hannigan. Avila finally finds a way around Grandy for that 3rd spot, but up front it is Forrester and Hannigan going at it. Hannigan with a little bit more of a little mistake right there off of 4. That gives Forrester quite a bit of breathing room as he heads off of turn number 4. It's about 0.4 of a second now. I think he's got this pretty wrapped up unless Hannigan can find a big pace in 3. Forrester expects a slide job, drops down to the bottom, and he is going to come off of turn number 4. And it's going to be Aiden Forrester bringing home the win for heat race number 1. Hannigan going to come home in 2nd. Avila in 3rd. Grandy, JP Schreider. So it's going to be Schreider, the first car out. Grandy's going to bring home the last transfer spot. All right, we're going to get going here for heat race number 2. Getting lined up, so we are going to have 5 heats. It looks like we're going to have 10 cars. In the first couple of heats, we'll see how that shakes out for the rest of the heats. But on the pole here, we'll get our grid up here for you. Starting lineup for heat race number 2. Is going to be Trevor Royer in the 90 on the pole. To his outside, Matthew Rogers. Connor Dudek is going to start in the 3rd spot. In the 88, Landon Crawley. To his outside, Ryan Scheidt back in 5th. Rylan Gray is going to start in that 6th spot. Back into row number 4 is Chad Cottery and Matthew Westfall. Starting in 9th, Jared Guarini, and outside of him, going to round out our 10-car field here for heat race number 2 is Joseph Groom. All right, 8 laps. 4 more cars going to put their way into the show. Warrior, Rogers, Dudek, Crawley. That is your top 4 right now. Watch Rylan Gray in that 06. Started back in their 6th spot. Did not have a good qualifying lap, but Rylan showed some good pace all season long. I watched for him to be battling up here for one of these transfer spots. Appreciate you being here with us. If you haven't been here before with DRSN, hit the subscribe button, give us a like. You don't want to miss any other action. Coming up later tonight at 11 o'clock Eastern, we will be bringing you the Western Racing League Truck Series from Bristol. It is Bristol week here in iRacing for all the pavement stuff. So we're going to go from this dirt half mile at Port Royal to the half mile at Bristol here in just a few hours. And adding a few extra little cams here for us. We're going to ride here on the nose of the 26th and Matthew Rogers. Green flag is in the air. Royer down on the bottom. Rogers on the outside. Royer able to clear Rogers. He's going to slide to the racetrack down there to 7. Look at Dudek trying to find a way around. Crawley makes a good run through the center of the racetrack. And here comes Rylan Gray. Gray now up to 4th. He's up into that final transfer spot. He's got a good run on the top of the racetrack. He is going to look underneath the 12 of Crawley off of 4. Able to slide up in front of Crawley there into turn number 1. Is going to take that 3rd spot away. So Gray is not done. He started 6th, already up to 3rd. Only 1 lap into this race. But up front, it is Trevor Royer, Matthew Rogers, Gray there in 3rd. The battle there for 4th is between Crawley and Dudek. Dudek on the bottom of the racetrack. Crawley up on the top. Dudek going to slide up in front of... I don't think Crawley saw that one coming. Had to check up. Was not able to cross over. But he's going to have the inside line into 3. He is going to slide up in front of Dudek. Take that 4th spot away. And we've got a battle for 2nd shaping up. Gray now has closed up on the back of Rogers. The top 3 nose to tail. Oh, a little contact right there. Rogers got loose and Gray got in the back of him. Gray is going to end up upside down. Along comes the 55 to kind of finish him off. I think that was Guarini. Caution is out here in heat race number 2. See if we can take a quick look at that here under caution. And you see Rogers got a little loose right there, lost some momentum. Gray did not anticipate that, and Rogers kind of comes back down the racetrack. Gray just gets right in the back of him, turns it around. The 10 car going to get involved right there. That is Groom. And then Garini's going to come in here. I don't think he thought Gray was just going to kind of stay on the top of the racetrack. He kind of keeps rolling down there, and Garini just drives right into the side of him. Hey, Clap, see if they qualified. They just ran 2 quick qualifying laps early on before the heat races started. Thanks for being there in chat. Thanks for chiming in. All right, heat race number 2 underway. It's Trevor Royer, Connor Dudek, Landon Crawley, Ryan Scheidt now. Gray had done a good job getting himself up into a transfer spot, but he is now out of this race. We've lost 3 cars, Groom, Gray, and Garini. I see the pace truck down at the bottom of the racetrack. Gonna go around here one more time. There are long yellow flag laps here at Port Royal. Looks like Rogers is also gonna fall back here a couple of spots. I'm not sure if he was penalized there or what, but he actually is. Did they give Rogers an EOL here? I think they did. They sent him back. All right. Well, we're not going to question the race control, but it looks like Rogers was given a penalty there for that incident. That's going to put Royer, Dudek, and Crawley and Westfall. That is your 4 transfer cars right now, but keep an eye on Matthew Rogers back there in the 7th. Green is in the air one more time. Trevor Royer with a huge jump over Dudek right there. Watch Westfall. Westfall back there in 4th. He's going to get together. It looked like that. I think that was Cottery on the inside. It was. So the 48 of Cottery gets together there with Westfall. Westfall ends up upside down. We've got caution out for the 2nd time. Caution out for the 2nd time here in heat race number 2. Heat race number 1 went out without a glitch, green checkered. Heat race number 2 is not quite working out that way. And it looks like Rylan Gray, with back-to-back cautions, was able to get repaired, get back out on the racetrack. He's going to come out here in 6th. Jarrett Garini as well. Rogers actually now going to end up on pit road. See if we can see real quick what happened to Westfall here. So Westfall up on the top of the racetrack. And that is the 48's going to come up, and they're just going to kind of meet in the middle of the racetrack. Westfall coming down, the 48 coming up. 11's going to get involved. I think Rogers caught a piece of it there with the right front. That's why he's down on pit road. So a few more cars there involved than we originally thought. All right, we're going to go one more time around here. And we'll get back to green flag racing here for heat race number 2. Now we could have a picnic on these caution flags. Ignore the little 1 to go graphic up there. We actually have 3 to go. 5 down, 3 laps left to go. Trevor Royer has led pretty much all of this race. All right, we're going to roll down the back straight. Pace truck's going to pull in. Watch Royer to pick up the throttle somewhere between 3 and 4. He's going to move down to the middle of the racetrack. The 90 Royer is going to pick it up right there. Kind of waits a little bit late, but he still gets a pretty good jump on Dudek right there. So Dudek still in 2nd. We're going to watch that final transfer spot. Look at the 6 of Gray, and the 10 of Scheidt is going to get up into the wall. I'm not sure if there was some contact there or not, but Ryan Scheidt looks like he's out of this race up front. Side by side for that 2nd spot, Dudek and Crawley. Crawley's going to move up off of turn number 2, take that second spot away. Dudek in tow right there, but Tudor's down to the bottom. He's going to try to slide here in 3. Dudek's now going to take second back away. It's a drag race down the front straightaway, and it's going to be Crawley as we come across the white flag at second. Dudek's not done. He's trying to get back. Oh, Crawley with a big mistake there in turn 2. He gets out and the outside wall, and he's in chance of losing that third spot to Gray. Gray is going to take third away from Crawley right there, but coming across the line, it's going to be Trevor Royer in the 90, Dudek in second. Side by side, flipping across the line, it's going to be Landon Crawley in the 12, and the 06 of Gray. Let's see if we can see that real quick before it doesn't let us watch the replay. Oh, too late. All right, let's see if we can take a look. So that was heat race number 2. We're going to move on to heat race number 3. Heat race number 2, not as smooth as the first heat by far. But we'll take a look here at the results from heat race number 2. And it's not loading up. All right. Trevor Royer coming in with a win. Connor Dudek, Landon Crawley, Ryland Gray. That's your transfer cars. Matthew Rogers, 1 spot out. He'll start in the B main. Jared Garini, Joseph Groom, Chad Cottery, Ryan Scheidt, and Matthew Westfall. That was your results there for heat race number 2. Heat race number 3. On the pole in the 52, Matt Hinkle. To his outside, Alex Strzynski. Starting inside of row number 2, Kenny Hoffman and Tanner Pettit. Tanner Pettit racing teammates side by side right there in heat race number in the row number 2. Bryce Heinstein and John Klimowitz. Going to be in row number 3. So we got to get the live timer. There we go. Starting in the 7th spot, it is going to be Parker Leak. Out to his outside in the 21, Tyler Henselman and Braylon McDaniel is going to round out our 9-car field here for heat race number 3. All right, it's going to be Hinkle and Strzynski bringing us to the green flag. This time, we're going to go around one more time. Track's been pretty racy. Heat race number 1, we saw Forrester running kind of the bottom and up to the top, and then the last heat race number 2, look at the top was the place to be. So look for slide jobs aplenty here tonight. You can see the track already getting black from about the bottom up to the center. Still a little bit of wet off the cushion through 1 and 2. We'll see how this holds up for the night goes on. The track will progress. Watch the 52 of Hinkle. And we are green flag for heat race number 3. Hinkle going to take the top spot. Strzynski in tow. Look at Hoffman to the bottom. Hoffman already at the bottom. Strzynski, he's going to take second spot away. Alex Strzynski catches the outside wall. Pettit now is going to try to get by for that third spot. We got contact back there in the back. It looks like Klimowitz and Parker Leak. They're going to get straightened back up. But in the meantime, Hoffman able to take a look to the outside of Hinkle, but not able to make a pass. We're still side by side for third with Strzynski and Pettit. Watch, Hoffman is going to make a slide into 3. Down to the bottom of the racetrack goes Kenny Hoffman. Great run off the top. He is going to take the top spot away from Matt Hinkle. Last week's winner, Tanner Pettit, stuck back here in 4th right now. He's got the final transfer spot. And here comes Bryce Heinstein, about to give him some pressure for that 4th and final transfer spot. Hinkle now going to lose second to Strzynski, but they're going to battle drag race down off of turn number 4. Pettit right there with him. We got 3 cars going into one. Pettit's going to make a twofer. He is going to slide Hinkle and Strzynski through 1 and 2. And he has got the momentum down the back straightaway. But here comes Strzynski in the 23. He is going to take that second spot back away. Pettit back to the bottom off of turn number 4. 4 laps down, 4 left to go here in heat race number 3. Hoffman, Pettit, Strzynski, and Hinkle. That's your 4 transfer spot. Heinstein, the first car out of the A main right now, running back in 5th. So Pettit with a big move right there, able to get by Strzynski and Hinkle in one corner, take that second spot away. Tanner Pettit racing, Kenny Hoffman and Tanner Pettit running 1-2 right now. Hoffman with good pace up there. You can see him just running a little bit different line. Hoffman running just a little bit higher than Pettit through 3 and 4. Same thing down here in 1 and 2. Pettit kind of running in the middle, then sliding up to the top, hopping right up on the cushion. And we got a battle for the transfer spot. Heinstein finds his way up around Hinkle through 3 and 4. They're going to drag race down, cross the white flag. It's Hinkle right now. He is going to slide up, but look, here comes Heinstein. Going to cut back off of turn number 2. Watch him run the bottom of the racetrack down here. He's going to protect for the slider. He's going to go into the middle, slide to the top of the racetrack. Here comes Hinkle. Hinkle does not have the pace. It's going to be Szczerzinski getting the final transfer spot, but it's going to be Kenny Hoffman with the win. Tanner Pettit in second. Alex Szczerzinski third. Bryce Heinstein is going to steal that 4th and final transfer spot away from Matt Hinkle. Hinkle's going to come home in 5th. All right, we're getting lined up here for heat race number 4. Heat race number 4 of 5. On the pole here for heat race number 4, it's going to be the 31 of Andrew May to his outside, Jack Young. Gunnar Harris going to start inside of row number 2 with Shane Yost to his outside. Jesse Bandy starting in 5th, Michael Sheridan 6th. Back in 7th, Colton Brewer, the 21 of Shane Gallo, out to his outside in the 8th spot. And Ethan Milway is scheduled to start there in 9th, but I don't think he made the grid. We'll see if he starts from the pits. Looks like he's just sitting there on the front chute. No, that's not who is that? That's I don't think Ethan is going to make the start here for heat race number 4. All right, 8 laps, 4 more drivers going to punch their ticket to the feature. May, Young, Yost, and Harris right now. That is your top 4, but watch Sheridan and Bandy. Keep your eye on the 77 and Colton Brewer back there starting in the 8th spot. Now we're going to go around here one more time. Pace truck has pulled in the back straightaway, rolling into turn number 3. It's May and Young. Watch the 31, see where he picks the throttle up. We're going to pick it up early right in the center of the corner right now, and the 31 is going to get about a 2-car length lead, but the 54, Gunnar Harris, really anticipated that jump well. He is going to move himself up in a second. Oh, Harris slides up in front of our pole sitter there of May. May gets right in the back of Brewer and Milwain. Or Sheridan actually both upside down. We'll take a look at that replay. I kind of looked over at the other screen and I missed a little bit of that. So we'll see if that was a late slide from Harris or exactly what happened right there. Actually, we're a little bit late coming into it. Let's just have to rewind that a little bit, I think. All right, so we see May up on the outside of the racetrack. And Harris going to slide up in front. He had lost quite a bit of momentum. I don't think May anticipated that. May gets right into the back of him. Gets upside down, collects Sheridan and Brewer. We'll see what race control says right there. It looks like right now Harris is going to stay up in his spot, but right now it's Jack Young and Harris. Our pole sitter Andrew May down in the pits right now trying to get some repairs done on the 31. Let's see if we can make it back out onto the racetrack. All right, so complete restart. That is going to move Jack Young up to the pole, Gunnar Harris to the outside. Yost, Bandy, and Gallo, the only 5 cars on the racetrack right now. Brewer, May, and Sheridan all trying to get some repairs done. You can see the wing still off of the 15 at Sheridan. May also getting some repairs done, so we'll see if they can get back out on the racetrack here, or if race control is going to give them a little bit of time. All right, the pace truck's going to pull in. Looks like Brewer and May both made it back out, but I don't see Sheridan. All right, watch the 10 Young. We're going to start single file here. Harris is going to stay there in second, so Young going to get on the loud pedal off of 4. He is going to have a big run down the front straightaway, the 10 of Jack Young. But keep an eye on the 31 of May back here. He's back here in 7th. We'll see if he can make his way up through the field. Harris with a big slide. He is going to take that spot away from Young. Young fights back off of 4. He's got the lead as we come across the stripe. Young going to slide up in front of Harris. They're right there in 1 and 2. Let's see if Harris comes back into turn number 3. He's got good momentum. He's going to do just that. A big slide again for Harris. Harris now going to take that top spot back away. But Young coming back at him. Shane Yost back there in 3rd. Bandy right now, the last car on the transfer spot. Gallo back there in 5th, the first car out. Get back up to our battle to the front here with Young and Harris throwing haymakers at each other. Harris once again does a good job of keeping it off the wall right there. I thought he was going to get into the wall coming off of 4, but he did cut it back down. They're going to slide here one more time. Harris with a little bit less momentum that time. Young saw it coming. He's able to dive underneath, and as they're going back and forth, that's letting Shane Yost get into this battle. 4 laps down, 4 to go. We're going to come across the stripe now with 3 to go. We drag race down the front chute one more time. Jack Young out in front. Gunnar Harris, they're going at it here, back and forth. Here comes Shane Yost. He wants to get the win in this heat race. We're going to have a 3-car battle for the lead here before this is over with. Harris not able to get up alongside of Young this time. He's going to tuck in behind him. Let's see if he makes a move into 1. He's going to settle back into follow right now. Our top 3 nose to tail. Bandy still back there in 4th. Gallo in 5th. May, maybe May didn't get all his repairs done. He's back there in the 6th spot. Harris now to the outside. Young to the bottom. One lap to go. White flag in the air for Gunnar Harris and Jack Young. Harris one more time slides up in front of Young off of 2. Young back to the bottom. Heads into 3. He's going to go to the top of the racetrack. He's going to give Harris the bottom. But they're going to drag race off of 4, and it's going to be Jack Young with the win. Gunnar Harris in 2nd. Yost in 3rd. Bandy's going to come home in 4th. Shane Gallo in the 5th spot. Andrew May is going to come home in 6th. Colton Brewer and Michael Sheridan did not finish the race, and Ethan Milway did not get to start. Haymakers aplenty right there. Jack Young and Gunnar Harris going at it. We're going to get ready here for heat race number 5. Final heat race of the night. See if we can take a quick look at the results there for heat race number 4. Jack Young, Gunnar Harris, Shane Yost, Jesse Bandy after 4 transfer cars. Shane Gallo, Andrew May, Colton Brewer, Michael Sheridan, and Ethan Milway. On to heat race number 5. On the pole in the 95, Dakota Young, Joshua Pickle to his outside. Richie Gaines the 3rd, going to start inside of row number 2. A-Case going to start out his outside in the 4th spot. Spencer Putney back there in 5th. Jay Schaaf in the 6th starting position. Adam Buchanan, Austin Motley going to round out the 4th row. And then back there rounding out the field in 9th is going to be Anthony Woodhull. All right, I'm keeping my eyes on the 17 of Putney. Putney has been fast all season long. I'll be surprised if he doesn't transfer out of this heat race. We've had quite a bit of action here in the last couple. Gonna go around one more time, around the half mile here at Port Royal. And you can see just how important it is to keep your momentum up around this place. But it looks like the top is a place to be. I have not seen anybody roll on the bottom of the racetrack with any kind of speed yet. Everybody up on the top. Most of our passes have been of the slide job variety. All right, pace truck's going to pull in here one more time down the back straightaway. Last heat race of the night. The last 4 cars going to punch their ticket to the feature. Kuhn, Pickle, Gaines, and Case. A little bit late start here for Kuhn, but he's going to roll in the throttle off of 4. Gaines with a bad jump. He is going to get into the 33 of Pickle. That Case is going to get involved in it as well. Caution is in the air. I think we're going to see a re-rack. Not a great start right there. Let's see what happened. It looked like it was the 33 of Pickle. Or excuse me, the 11 of Gaines not getting a good start. Gets a big push off of 4. Pushes up into Pickle. And that kind of starts the melee. Oh, I didn't see that. Is that the 11 of Buchanan? Buchanan going for a ride into turn number 1. It looked like Gaines just did not get a good start. Car picked up a big push off a corner. As him and Pickle get together, that pretty much started that whole ordeal right there. All right, yellow flag here at the first lap of heat race number 5. Looks like we got a bunch of cars. We got Case, Motley still on the racetrack. We've got Case, Gaines, Schaaf, and Buchanan all trying to get some repairs. All right, gonna go around here one more time. We got long yellow flag laps here at Port Royal of the night. All right, 4 cars left on the racetrack right now. Actually, the 5th car coming out there looks to be Motley. Case, Gaines, Schaaf, and Buchanan still all on pit road right now. Here comes the 5th. Here comes that looks like Schaaf making his way out. Case also making his way out. Richie Gaines moving now, and it looks like Buchanan. So all 4 drivers going to make their way back out. They were involved in that first lap caution. Single file restart here. Kuhn, Pickle, Putney, Woodhull. That is our top 4 at the moment. See Buchanan with an EOL. All right, let's see where the 95 picks up the throttle. He's going to get into the throttle here somewhere between 3 and 4. He's going to wait a little bit late, coming off of 4. The Cone is going to take the lead into 1. Pickle right there behind him, but here comes Putney on the outside. He has got the 9 of Woodhull in tow. Let's look here in the back, and around goes Case. Around goes Case. I think he made a little contact with the 11 of Gaines, but we're going to stay green flag in the air. Up front, it is Kuhn. We got a 3-car battle for second. Woodhull, Pickle, and Putney. Putney on the outside, Pickle down on the bottom, Woodhull in the middle. We're basically 3 wide right there. Watch Richie Gaines in the 11th. He's outside looking in right now, trying to get himself into a transfer spot. Putney's now made his way up to second. He is trying to chase down Dakota Kuhn. Anthony Woodhull in the 9th, secured himself into 3rd right now. Pickle kind of falling back as Gaines is making up some ground here, so watch for Gaines to see if he can get by Pickle for that 4th spot. We got come across the line halfway through, 4 down, 4 to go. Putney on the bottom. They've caught the leader. Woodhull on the outside. Putney did not get a good run down on the bottom. It's going to be Kuhn and Woodhull fighting it out for the lead right now. They're going to come across to make it 3 to go. Richie Gaines gets himself up into 4th. He makes his way around Joshua Pickle to get that final transfer spot. Woodhull now takes the lead away from Kuhn. Kuhn's going to look to the bottom. No, they're both going to go to the top of the racetrack. I thought for sure Kuhn was going to look to the bottom in 3. Did not get a good run down off of turn number 4. That's going to let Woodhull get a little bit of a lead here. About a lap and a half left to go. Anthony Woodhull leads here in the number 9. The 95 of Kuhn there in 2nd. Putney back to 3rd. Gaines has made up a little bit of ground here, but it's pretty much single filed out for the top 4 spots, and they've got about a half a second or a second or so back to Pickle in that 5th spot. So it's going to be Anthony Woodhull coming home with the win. Dakota Kuhn in 2nd, Spencer Putney 3rd, Richie Gaines in the 4th and final transfer spot. Joshua Pickle, Adam Buchanan, Jay Schaaf, and A Case is going to round out our field. Case is going to finish it off with a little barrel roll coming off of 4. Gonna come home in the 8th spot. All right, we're gonna get lined up here now for our main events. What did we end up with? We ended up with looks like we're gonna have a D. This is gonna be D main. So 10 laps here in the D main. We got a few more cars show up right at the end there, it looked like. So let's see if we can take a look real quick at the results there from heat race number 5. No, we can't because it's not gonna let me. All right, so we'll just get right to the grid here for the D main. On the pole, Jay Shafe to his outside, the 57 of Austin Griffey. Chad Cottery is going to start in 3rd. John Klimowitz outside of row number 2 in the 4th spot. Michael Sheridan in 5th. AJ Case in 6th, or A Case as we call him. Johnny Vaughn going to start inside of row number 4 and 7th to his outside. Ryan Scheidt. Parker Leak and Ethan Milwain going to round out the 5th row. Back in row number 6, starting in 11th, Austin Motley and Jake at Boxell. Going to round out our field. Our 13-car field here is going to be the 54 of Matthew Westfall. And I think we've had quite a few drivers not make the start. I only see 8 drivers out on the racetrack. I don't see Vaughn, Milwade, Motley, Boxell, or Westfall. All right, it's going to be Jay Shafe and Austin Griffey bringing us to the line here. We're going to go around one more time, one more lap around the Port Royal Speedway under caution. Then we're going to get our D main underway. We're going to punch the ticket. 4 drivers going to make their way up to the C. See if anybody can run their way through the, it's not quite the alphabet soup they run at the Chili Bowl, but it's still, so we'll call it like a little bowl of soup. Maybe it's a cup of soup. We got to go from the D to C to B today. Let's see if anybody has it in them. All right, 10 laps. Looks like we got 8 drivers that have made their way into this field. 5 drivers decided not to start the D. Base truck's pulled in halfway down the back straight. We're going to roll into turn number 3. Jay Shafe on the bottom. Austin Griffey to his outside. It's up to Shafe when we go. Here he's going to roll off of turn number 4. Pick up the throttle. We're hammered down here in the D main. It is Shafe and Griffey. Shafe is going to take about a 5-car length lead. Watch the battle here for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Griffey to 2nd. Klimowitz to 3rd. We got a gaggle of cars back there. The 48 are going to get together with Cowdery. Little pilot back there. Leak's going to take the worst of it. That's going to let A-Case get up to 4th. He's looking for 3rd. He's going to get underneath Griffey for the 3rd spot. The 1 now moves his way up into the top 3. Shafe, Klimowitz, and Case now. Griffey, your 4 transfer cars. Ryan Scheidt, the first car looking out. He's about a 0.6 of a second behind 3rd place running Griffey. We had a little incident there on the back straight, but we stayed green flag in the air. Shafe with a big lead now, a 2nd back to Klimowitz. Case and Griffey now 3rd and 4th. I don't see Scheidt with much a run right here. We take a look a little bit further back. Here comes the one of Parker Leak with a big slide. He is going to get around Sheridan. Sheridan fights back off of 2. Our leader still Jay Shafe and John Klimowitz in the 2nd spot. Case and Griffey. We're getting ready to have a battle for this final transfer spot. Griffey is going to get passed by Scheidt. Leak also right there. Sheridan right there as well. So we got a 4-car battle for 1 spot. Scheidt, Griffey, Sheridan, and Leak. Right there in front of him is the 10 of Scheidt. Scheidt able to put a little bit of separation back to this group. Griffey now falls back to 5th. Sheridan 6th. Here comes Leak down on the bottom, trying to find his way up into a transfer spot. The 1 car, Parker Leak, gets around Sheridan for 6th. He's got a couple more cars to get past him. He's going to make the show. Case down on the bottom. He's fighting for 2nd with Klimowitz. He needs to get back up into the groove because here comes Scheidt to his outside. Case on the bottom. Scheidt up on the outside. That's for 3rd and 4th right now. Scheidt is going to be able to drive around the outside. Case and Klimowicz running the bottom. That's going to drop Case back into the last transfer spot. Griffey now starting to close in. We got 3 laps to go. We're going to have a battle for the transfer spot. Here comes Leak now. Leak with a big run as Griffey makes a mistake off of 2. Parker Leak now up to 5th. He has got his sights set on that final transfer spot right in front of him. A-Case in the 1 car right there. Klimowicz in 3rd. In the meantime, Jay Schaaf has checked out on this field. Ryan Scheidt now in 2nd, but our spot right here is the transfer spot. Leak down to the bottom. He is going to clear Case for that 4th spot. Case goes back on the outside. We're going to come off at turn number 4. White flag in air. 1 more to go. Who's going to get this final transfer spot to the C? Right now it is Parker Leak taking 3rd away from Klimowicz. A-Case in the 1 on the outside. He's got to run down the back straightaway for 4th. Can he get around John Klimowicz for that 4th and final transfer spot? Case to the top. It's going to be a drag race off of turn number 4. And it's going to be Case taking the 4th spot. And they make a little contact. Sheridan and Klimowicz going to go for a ride. Jay Schaaf's going to take the win here in the D main. Ryan Scheidt in 3rd. 2nd. Parker Leak 3rd. A-Case in 4th. All right. That was exciting D main right there. That was a C main actually. It was C main action, so I called it the D. That actually was the C. We're gonna go right to our B main. Our 4 transfer cars were Jay Schaaf, Ryan Scheidt, Parker Leak, and A-Case. But here in the B main, get to our starting grid here. JP Schreider on the pole. Matthew Rogers to his outside. Matt Hinkle and Shane Gallo is going to occupy row number 2, starting in 5th. Joshua Pickle. Chris Schaefer to his outside, starting in 7th. Jarrett Guarini and Tyler Henselman in the 8th spot. Back in 9th, Andrew May and Adam Buchanan. Dustin Simon's going to start in 11th. To his outside in 12th. Joseph Groom in a 13th starting spot. Braylon McDaniel and Colton Brewer is going to start in 14th. Back to row number 8. Jay Schaaf and Ryan Scheidt coming out of the C main. Parker Leak and A-Case. Our other 2 transfer cars out of the C. Let's see if either one of those drivers can make their way up to the front. All right, JP Schreider and Matthew Rogers, Matt Hinkle, Shane Gallo. That's your top 4 right now. 4 drivers going to punch their way into the A main. Who's it going to be here? We got some good drivers in the back of this field. Watch the 31 of Macon up here. Watch the 77 of Brewer. Can Leak or Scheidt make their way up through the back here somewhere out of the C? Jarrett Guarini looks like he is not going to take the green flag, so we got 17 cars starting. All right, 12 laps here in our B main. 4 cars going to put themselves into the 30-lap feature here at Port Royal. Pacetrack's pulled in. Schreider and Rogers right now going to bring us to the line. It's up to Schreider to bring us up to speed. And he's going to get on the throttle right there between 3 and 4. The 5's going to take the lead down into turn number 1. Matthew Rogers in the 26 in tow. Watch Hinkle right there behind him. We got a battle for that 4 spot already. Pickle and May now to the outside. May in the 31 to the outside of Pickle for that 4th position. Gallo's got 4th, but he has got his hands full with the 33 of Pickle down on the bottom. And Gallo's going to get loose. He's going to get loose and get turned right there. He gets loose coming off the corner. And it looked like May have gotten the back of him as well. Let's see if we can see what happened here to start that. Looks like Buchanan went for another ride. That's about the 2nd or 3rd time we see Buchanan go flipping here tonight. We see him coming off of 4. It looks like Gallo just gets a little bit loose right there. And May's just got a big head of steam. Keck and just Hinkle slowed up just a little bit in front of Gallo. Gallo got loose. May just had a big head of steam coming. He gets into the back of the 21. And Buchanan comes along. He just wants to go for another ride, I guess. So he gets down to the inside wall down there. We'll see how that happened with Buchanan, see what happened to him there. So we'll keep an eye on the 44. Oh, he just makes a hard left to try to miss Gallo. I don't think he saw him sitting up there. So Gallo's going to go for a ride. Or excuse me, Buchanan goes for another ride. I think he was upside down in the heat race. All right, Gallo had himself a transfer spot, but now finds himself back in 13th. Big mover of the race so far is Colton Brewer. He's up 6 spots. Started in 14th, now up to 8th. Schreider, Rogers, and Hinkle. That's our top 3. Then it's Joshua Pickle and Andrew May. So right now, May's moved himself up 4 spots, trying to get in that final transfer spot. Right there behind him is Chris Schaefer. Schaefer kind of blinking on and off there a little bit, looks like. All right, going to go around one more time. Lights still on the pace car. We've got a few drivers. We've got Schaefer down there trying to get some repairs. It looks like Buchanan as well. Like maybe Buchanan might be done. Parker Leaks looks to be out of this. McDaniel getting some repairs done. Schaefer as well. Yeah, I think Buchanan has parked it. All right. Pace truck's going to pull in one more time here for the B main. We're going to go green flag next time by. JP Schreider is going to bring it off at turn number 4. He's going to pick up the throttle. One more time here. 2 laps down, 10 to go here. Schreider, Rogers, Hinkle. That's your top 3. Battle for 4th is May and Pickle. May to the outside. We've got another caution. We see, come over and we see Henderson going to go for a ride here. Looks like it might have been Henselman. Take a quick look. He's already going for a ride at that point. We see Henselman right down. It gets down to the turn number 1. He starts to come down the racetrack. I don't think he saw the 77 coming. Brewer had such a big run down on the bottom. Henselman just kind of turned down to take that bottom line away. And he gets into the Brewer of the 77. He's going to go for a ride. So I don't know if we got... My timing and scoring says we got 2 laps down, 10 to go. But we've had 2 cautions already. Schaef's going to have to get a black flag here. Must have some damage. You can see him already in the pits. We can see Henselman down there getting some repairs. Guarini has made his way out onto the racetrack. All right, the 5 of JP Schreider still leads the way. Matthew Rogers, Matt Hinkle. That's been the top 3 since the onset. Pace truck still out on the racetrack. We're going to go around one more lap. We'll get back to green flag racing here at Port Royal for the Dirty Old Bastards. Later on tonight, if you like some truck racing, we'll be back here at 11 o'clock Eastern after DOB is over. We're going to be back with the Western Racing League Truck Series at Bristol. Tomorrow night, we're going to also be here with you at 10:45 Eastern. It's a West Coast League. It's a Fresno SCCA Club Mazda MX-5 Series. Bring you some coverage tomorrow night, and then Thursday night, we'll be here for the Nitro Zone Racing League Truck Series, and we'll come back Friday to finish off the week with a half-decent Racing League Xfinity Series. All right, JP Schreider going to pick up the throttle early right through the center of 3 and 4. Matthew Rogers right there with him. Hinkle in 3rd. Watch that spot for 4th. That is Andrew May and Pickle. Pickle got it. May wants that final transfer spot. Pickle slides up off of 2. Hinkle gets backed up right. Not a great run for Hinkle off of turn number 2. That's going to let Pickle get down underneath them. May right there with him. We got a 3-car battle for 2nd. Schreider is kind of pulled away here a little bit. Rogers, oh, that's just a visual thing with the wing falling off. But right here, here's our battle for 4th and 5th. May's going to take that 4th spot away from Hinkle. Here comes Brewer in the 77. He wants it. He looks to the bottom. Brewer just about gets by 3 cars right there in one corner. He is going to get by Pickle. Hinkle with a little mistake off of 4. He gets into the outside wall. Watch that battle on the bottom. We're 3 wide for 3rd. May now up to 3rd. Brewer now to 4th. Hinkle and Pickle right there with him. 3-car battle for that final transfer spot. May looks like they got a pretty solid hold on 3rd. Battle here is for 4th. Colton Brewer's got it. Pickle now to 5th, and a little contact with Hinkle. Hinkle going to go for a ride. He is going to collect a couple cars as he comes back up the racetrack. We're under caution now for the 3rd time. 6 laps in, 6 laps to go. Caution now for the 3rd time. It looked like Hinkle got a little loose off of 2. We'll take another look at it here. So Pickle right there in front of him, and Pickle does not have, he's rubbed off quite a bit of speed right there. Hinkle comes off the corner, starts to make a move to the bottom. Hinkle gets a little bit, or Pickle gets a little bit loose right there. They make contact. That's going to send Hinkle into the inside wall. He is going to come back up the racetrack, and it looks like that is the 11 and catches a little bit of the 1 a case. Take a look at the houses here on the outside of the back straightaway here at Port Royal. If you're a sprint car fan, you know that, you know where you want to live at. All right, 7 laps down, 5 to go here in the B main. Still trying to figure out who's going to be our 4 transfer cars to the show. It has been JP Schreider this entire race. Andrew May's now made his way up to 2nd. Colton Brewer in 3rd. Joshua Pickle in 4th. Let's get back to live time here. All right, Schreider, May, Brewer, Pickle. That's your top 4. Did we lose somebody? We lost somebody out of that battle up at the front. I'm not quite sure who it was. Alright. Looks like Paycheck's going to pull in here. We're going to go green flag racing one more time so we can get these last 6 laps and 6 down, 6 to go. JP Schreider, Andrew May, Colton Brewer, your top 3. Joshua Pickle holds the final transfer shot. Chris Schaefer right there with him. The 11 of Joseph Groom. Schreider picks up the throttle off of 4. He's going to carry the lead down into 1 and 2. Andrew May, Brewer now to the bottom of May for that 2nd spot. He is going to take it off of 2. Brewer with a great run there in the EPI 77. Brewer's going to fight back into 3. Excuse me, May's going to fight back into 3. He's going to take this 2nd away from Brewer. There's a drag race down the front straightaway here for 2nd. Final transfer spot right now is held by Ryan Scheidt. Pickle now falls back to 5th. Schaefer right there with him. A-Case now up 11 spots trying to get his way up into a transfer spot. He's got 4 laps to do it. It's side by side for 2nd still, Brewer and May. Brewer's going to take 2nd away one more time. Andrew May back to the bottom off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. He's going to move up in front. Doesn't even have to do a slide job. Got enough momentum here to take that 2nd spot away. And caution is out one more time. And it looks like it might be involving Matthew Rogers. Maybe Pickle, the 33 of Joshua Pickle. Let's take a look here and see what happened. 33 up on the top of the racetrack. You can see Case to his inside down there on the bottom. It looks like the 19 is Schaefer right there as well. Pickle just loses it off of 2 and just gets into the wall right there and is going to collect. It looks like Sheridan and maybe Gallo are going to get involved right there. Pickle's going to go for a ride. I think he just kind of lost it off of 2 and got into the wall, and that is going to shake things up in the front right now. We've got 3 laps left to go in this B main. Schreider is trying to do some wheelies for us down the front chute. Thanks for being here with us. Hit that subscribe button if you've not been here before. If you want to get notified on all the other races we have going on. We've got, this is week number 4 of a 9-race season here for the Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Series. We'll be back next week at Eldora next Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. But right now we've got to finish up this B main here at Port Royal. JP Schreider, Andrew May, Colton Brewer, Ryan Scheidt. That's your 4 transfer cars right now. Chris Schaefer outside looking in. Right there behind him in the 1 is AJ Case, Shane Gallo. So 2 SGR drivers right there running 6th and 7th, trying to find their way into the show. Pretty sure JP's led every single lap of this race right now. It says 21. We've run a lot of caution laps. All right, we're going to roll off turn number 2. Pace truck once again is going to pull into the infield right here to halfway down the back straightaway. Schreider and May. Let's see where Schreider picks up the throttle. He's been picking it up about halfway through the corner. Gonna wait a little bit longer this time. JP Schreider on the loud pedal is going to bring us down to the start-finish line. 3 laps left to go here in the B main for the Dirty Old Bastards. Brewer down to the bottom of the racetrack. He is going to take 2nd, back away from May. Scheidt still there in 4th. We're side by side for 2nd and 3rd. May and Brewer. Case down to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get that final transfer spot away from Ryan Scheidt. We'll keep an eye. We're trying to keep an eye on the battle for 2nd and 3rd and the final transfer spot. Looks like Case with a mistake. Scheidt is going to hold on to 4th. That's going to be the finish right there, actually. So it's going to be Schreider. A lap counter got a little bit off right there. Take a look at the results here. We got a little bit of warm-up before we get to our feature. B-main results: JP Schreider, Colton Brewer, Andrew May, Ryan Scheidt. Those were your 4 transfer cars. Just on the outside, AK is going to come in 5th. Chris Schaefer 6th. Matthew Rogers 7th. Shane Gallo in the 8th spot. Jay Schaaf, Dustin Steinman, Joseph Groom, Jared Guarini, Joshua Pickle, Matt Hinkle, Tyler Henselman's going to be in 15th, and it was Adam Buchanan. And if my little notification thing would go off the screen. Braylon McDaniel and Parker Leak going to round out our 18-car field there from the B main. All right. So they're going to do a little bit of warm-up. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Here's a word from AI Chief.
Are watching Precision Entertainment. Let's take a quick break from the action of the Cyber Thunder Rush Championship Series, presented by me, AI Chief. Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew.
All right, we're back to live because they're going to quit that a little bit short, so we're getting gridded up here on the front straightaway. So here, we're going to bring you our starting lineup here for the A main here tonight at Port Royal. On the pole, our points leader in the 20, Aiden Forrester, to his outside, Trevor Royer. Starting in 3rd, the number 1 at Kenny Hoffman, and Jack Young to his outside. Back in row number 3, it's Anthony Woodhull and Mason Hannigan. Row number 4 is going to be Connor Dudick and Tanner Pettit, last week's winner at Charlotte. Gunnar Harris going to start in 9th. Dakota Kuhn in the 10th spot. Back in row number 6, starting 11th. It's Ryan Avila and Landon Crawley. In the 13th spot, Alex Czerniewski and Shane Yost. Back in row number 8, in the 15th starting spot, to 17 is Spencer Putney, to his outside, Joseph Grandy. Rylan Gray in the 06 is going to start in 17th. Bryce Heinstein to his outside, starting outside of row number 9. Row number 10 is going to be Jesse Bandy and Richie Gaines Jr. Get back to the final 4 cars here. In the 21st spot, our B main transfers: JP Schreider, Colton Brewer, Andrew May, and Ryan Scheidt. That is going to round out our 24-car feature for 30 laps here at Port Royal for the Dirty Old Bastards. So it looks like the bottom, I have not seen anybody really run the bottom with a lot of success here. It looks like the top is going to be the place to be. Look for somebody to try to roll that bottom. corners here at Port Royal are a little bit tight, so you got to try to get that car rotated and keep up your momentum on the bottom if anybody's going to make it work. But right now, watch for the top, these first 4 or 5 drivers to get to the top of the racetrack and get up there in a hurry. Right now, Aiden Forrester, Trevor Royer, Kenny Hoffman, and the 10 of Jack Young. That is our top 4 right now. Anthony Woodhull and Hannigan right there in the 3rd row. Pace truck is pulling in down the back straightaway. We're going to go green this time by the 20 of Woodhull. We're going to pick up the throttle a little early. You can see Royer on the outside anticipated. And we are green flag in the air. 30 laps to go here at Port Royal. Aiden Forrester is going to get a good jump into 1. Hoffman's going to follow by. Going to get around Royer for that 2nd spot. Royer now up to 3rd. We're side by side for 4th with Woodhull and Jack Young. Royer with a good move is going to get up in front of Hoffman into 3. Hoffman cuts back up underneath. We got cars going around in the middle of the racetrack. It looks like I see Crawley in there. It looks like I saw the 49 also involved in it. Of Bandy. Mays in there. I see Grandy. And it looks like maybe the 23 of Szerzninski also involved. We see the 49 of Bandy pulling away. Let's see if we can see what happened here. So I think this starts up in the middle of the race. It looks like it starts up there. Let's see if we can find a good view of this. We see Dakota Coons, Szerzninski, and the 12 of Gaines. They're going to get together here. Grandy's going to come piling in. They just block up the whole racetrack. We see Brewer getting involved as well. Coon here in the 95 is going to drive away, but he's got, looks like some damage, no nose wing on it. All right, we get back to live time, so did not quite get a lap in here in the A main, and we're already under caution. All right, Forrester, Hoffman. Let's take a look that we haven't had a chance to look at tonight. Our Tanner Pettit racing team. Forrester, Hoffman, Pettit. Excuse me. And Avila back here, all 4 Tanner Pettit racing teammates here tonight. Who else do we have out here? We have Mason Hannigan in the Black Devon Motorsports. Hannigan and Jay Schaaf. Dippy Schreider in the Creed Sim Racing, and then Landon Crawley, Evil Sim Sports. Evil Empire Sim Sports, sorry about that. That is our teammates here for the A main. All right. 1 lap in. Time in scoring says 2, but I don't think we even got 1 in. Gonna go green this time by. That was a yard sale, Bill. Yes, it was. All right, Forrester, Hoffman, Royer. It's all up to Aiden Forrester, our points leader here for the Dirty Old Bastards. Let's see where he picks up the throttle at. Forrester on the loud pedal off of turn number 4. We're single file. You can see everybody coming off the bottom of the racetrack in turn number 4. Let's see if anybody can make a move into 1 and 2. Woodhull to the bottom of Royer, but not able to make the pace. Right there behind him, Dudek trying to make the bottom work. He's got Hannigan who's outside, the 10 of Young right there as well. Dudek's going to make a move on Young, not able to get up alongside Pettit. Watch Tanner Pettit in the 24. He looks to be making the bottom of the racetrack work. Here comes Hannigan as well. So Pettit is trying to make the bottom work. He is rolling the bottom of the racetrack. He's got a really good run off of turn number 2. Keep an eye on the 24 and the 7 of Hannigan. We're 3 wide back here for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Hannigan, Dudek, and Pettit down on the bottom. Pettit able to clear that field, gets up to 5th. He is trying to get up alongside of Woodhull for that 4th position. Pettit, Hannigan, Dudek right here. Now Dudek going to look to the inside now of Hannigan. Jack Young coming up alongside as well. Pettit right there takes a look underneath Royer. So Royer's now falling back a couple of spots. He's back to 4th. Tanner Pettit rolling the bottom of the racetrack. He's the only one looks like to be making it work right now. Everybody else up on top. Forrester at the top. Hoffman now going to try the bottom of 3 and 4. See if he can make up any ground on Aiden Forrester. We're 3 wide back here for about 5th, 6th, and 7th. Royer, Woodhull, and it looks like Dudek Or Hannigan there, sorry. It's Hannigan on the bottom of the racetrack. Pettit's now made himself way up into third. It's all Tanner Pettit racing at the top. Forrester, Hoffman, Pettit. Woodhull, they're in fourth. Warrior and Hannigan. Hannigan now to the bottom. Watch the 7. Does he have anything for our leaders? He's trying to get his way up to the front. Started in 6th, still in 6th. It's all Aiden Forrester. 1.4 seconds to the good. Kenny Hoffman. And we've got another caution. Caution in the air one more time. It looks like it may have been JP Schreider, our B main winner, as we find him down in the pits. Let's take a look at the 5 and see what happens. He's up around, looks like a little contact up in front of him. I see the 54 going around. '54 and Ryan and Villa get together right there. Putney's going to get involved as well. So let's see if we can see a little bit. Look like Gunnar Harris. So let's see if we can see what happened here to Gunnar Harris and Spencer Putney and Ryan Avila right there. So Putney up on the top, Harris in the middle. So it looks like Harris and Ryan are just going to get together right here. They meet in the middle of the racetrack. Avila coming up, Harris coming down. They get together. Putney just really nowhere to go. He is going to come into this, catch the 54 Harris. The 5 of JP Schreider also going to get involved here as he gets into the 17. Everybody else kind of gets woed up right here. Maybe not. As I say that, here comes Grandy. Grandy's going to go for a ride. All right, back to live time. Aiden Forster's led every single lap of this race so far. Kenny Hoffman, Tanner Pettit, that's your top 3. Trevor Royer, Mason Hannigan, 4th and 5th. All right, 11 laps down, 8 laps down to go. This little tower up on the left is always wrong, but it's only wrong when we do dirt track racing because it just doesn't not counting the yellow flags. So 9 laps to go, 9 laps down, 21 to go here, this 30-lap feature here at Port Royal. It's Aiden Forster, Kenny Hoffman, Tanner Pettit, Trevor Royer, Mason Hannigan, Anthony Woodhull, Jack Young back in 7th, Connor Dudek, Ryan Avila there in the 9th spot, coming out of that incident in pretty good position in the top 10, Riley Gray in 10th. All right, we're going to go green here. Pace truck's pulling into the infield. It's up to Aiden Forrester. Winston's going to pick up the throttle. Aiden's going to bring us to the line. He's going to come across the stripe. It's Forrester, Hoffman, Pettit. Pettit has been working the bottom. Does he have anything more right here? He gets up alongside of Hoffman, and you can see how good that bottom is off of 2. Pettit pulls Hoffman down the back straightaway. He's going to roll into turn number 3. Does he have anything for Forrester? He gets all the way up alongside of our leader. Forrester had to see him down there. Let's see if he goes down to the bottom to block off that run. Forrester gets a much better run off of 2 that time. Pettit loses a little bit of distance. Royer now coming back to 4th. Hannigan up on the outside. Royer's going to take that 3rd spot away from Hoffman. Forrester moved down to the bottom to block off that run from Pettit. Moves back to the top in 1 and 2. We're side by side for the lead. We're side by side for 2nd and 3rd. And here comes Royer in the 90. Trevor Royer has really found something on the outside. Makes his way back up into 4th. Hoffman falling back a little bit. Pettit now taking the lead away from Forrester. It's a drag race down the front straightaway. 12 laps down. 18 left to go. The 24 and the 1 side by side for the lead. We're keeping an eye on about 3 different battles going on here. Pettit has the lead into turn number 3. Forrester trying to come back on the top of the racetrack. But that bottom has really come in down there for Tanner Pettit. He has found something. He's found a good bite off the corner. But Forrester's going to get a big run off of 2, but you can see how rough it's getting off the top of the racetrack right there. That is really hurting his run. Hannigan now up to 3rd. Royer back up to 4th. Hoffman trying to work the bottom down in 5th spot. You can see Anthony Woodhull in the 9 back there in 6th, also trying to run the bottom of the racetrack. Big move from Hannigan. He is going to move up. Try to run a little bit different line back there, but he's up to 3rd. You can see him kind of carrying the front wheels almost halfway down the back straightaway. Coming across the line halfway through this race. 15 down, 15 to go. Pettit, Forrester, Hannigan. And we got another caution. Looks like it might be Ryan Scheidt. We can see Ryan's now jumped down to the pits. Caution flag in the air for the third time here in our 30-lap feature. We're halfway through. See if we can see what happened to the 10 of Scheidt. He has got Hinkle down to his inside. Coming down the back straightaway. And it looks like maybe they're going to make a little contact. Looks like, let's see if we can see a little bit different angle here. Let's back that up here one more time. We'll go live speed here. And you can see Hinkle just kind of comes up the racetrack, gets into the 10. Scheidt's going to spin around and collect the inside wall. All right, we're under caution for the third time. Really want to thank you all for being here. Thanks for chiming into the chat. Appreciate it. It's really great to get back and do some more dirt races. We've been doing a lot of NASCAR and some road course stuff. We grew up on the dirt tracks, and it's just fun to get back here and do some more, and to get to cover a great series like the DOB here. Some of these great sprint car drivers here in iRacing. Just some fantastic show they're putting on here tonight at Port Royal. We expect nothing less next week at Eldora. Be here next Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern for round number 5 of the 9-week season for the Dirty Old Bastards. Also, if you like some good truck racing, we'll be back here at 11 o'clock Eastern tonight, about a little more than half an hour, actually, for the Western Racing League Truck Series from Bristol. It is Bristol week on iRacing. Now, we're going to cover a couple races this week, but tonight, in about a half an hour, is going to be the Western Racing League Truck Series. Right now, we have got to finish up 15 laps at Port Royal. Tanner Pettit, Aiden Forrester, Mason Hannigan, your top 3. Royer now up to 4th. Hoffman 5th. Our big mover of the race is Rylan Gray. He's up 10 spots. Colton Brewer also up 11. But right now, watch the 24, Pettit. He's going to bring us back to the line. Green flag in the air. Almost makes a mistake right there. Just about gets into the inside wall. But Pettit is going to take the lead into 1 and 2. Forrester to the outside. Royer now able to get alongside of Hannigan. We're in caution one more time. It looks like the 9 of Woodhall. Let's see if we can see what happened there. Looks like there might have been a bunch of drivers involved in this one. Let's take a look at the 9. Woodhall just gets loose right there. I kind of looked away again. Let's take a look at that. Let's rewind a little bit. Don't like using the rewind button, but what else choice do we have at the moment? So let's get a good close look here at Woodhall on the 9 and see what happens. Oh, he catches that inside barrier. Unfortunately, that's going to collect Rylan Gray. Rylan had a good run going. He is going to tumble down the front straightaway, but it looks like if we jump, let's do the chase cam here. And let's see if we can see what happened to Woodhall here. Now he just catches that inside wall, just makes a mistake right there. The 9 gets into the wall, and that is going to put us under caution now for the 4th time. All right, one more time around. Tanner Pettit, Aiden Forrester, Mason Hannigan now up to 3rd. Royer was putting up a fight there for that 3rd spot. Let's see if he's got anything here on the restart. Jump on the nose cam here with Aiden Forrester, our 2nd place runner. Well, Pettit picked up the win at Charlotte last week. Forrester, you come into this race with the points lead, is yet to pick up a win this season. All right, we're going to go green here. Half them. We roll into 3 and 4. Tanner Pettit, he picked up the pace here just about off the center of the corner. Let's see where he goes this time. We've got 15 cars left on the lead lap. Pettit on the loud pedal one more time. He's got a big run right there. Forrester got a little bit loose right there. Allowed Hannigan to get up alongside him. Hannigan looked to the inside of Forrester for that 2nd spot. That outside of the racetrack getting really rough, especially off of 2. You can see Aiden Forrester bouncing all over the place up there on the outside of 1 and 2. 3 and 4 looks a little bit smoother, but it's, you get a good run off the outside of 4. Forster's just got to find a little smoother line through 1 and 2 right here, and he might have something. Pettit's setting sail. He's now about 4/10 to the good out here. Forster trying to make that outside work. He's finding something down here in 3 and 4. Can he find anything to get himself through 1 and 2? Hannigan third. Royer Hoffman now back up to 4th. Royer back to 5th now. Ryan Avila now has made his way up to 6th after being involved in an earlier incident. Let's keep an eye on Forster. Let's ride along here on the nose of Forster as he heads into 1 and 2. He's going to come up on the top of the racetrack, and you can just see it getting bumpy up here. He's finding a little smoother line. He's coming down about a car width off the top and actually found a little bit smoother line through there, but still not gaining much of anything on Tanner Pettit. Hannigan looking for something. Take a look here a little bit further back. We got a race here for 7th and 8th with Dudek and Harris. Now Harris is going to take away that 7th spot as he moves up in front of Connor Dudek. Colton Brewer's moved up 12 spots, started in 22nd, now up to 10th. He is trying to get around the 10 of Jack Young right there in front of him. We get back up for the lead. We got 9 laps left to go. It's a 3-car battle for the lead. Pettit makes a little mistake right there. That's forced to get by on the outside, and here comes Mason Hannigan. Forster fighting back on the outside of the racetrack. He comes back to the front. Here comes Pettit off of 4. It's a drag race down the front straightaway, and Aiden Forster has found a little pace. He has found a little smoother line up there. He gets a great run off of 2. That bottom's starting to go away on Tanner Pettit. He made it work, but it looks like it's going away right now. And we are under caution now for the 5th time. Looks like it may be Szczerzinski and maybe Colton Brewer involved. So we were just talking about Colton Brewer having a good run, making his way up through the field. But it looks like he is going to be involved in our latest caution flag. Coming off a 4 right here. Let's see what happens to Colton Brewer. Gets together with the 23 of Szczerzinski right there. They're both going to go for a ride. Take a look at that one more time from the chase cam. When we see Brewer up on the top of the racetrack, you're going to see Szczerzinski kind of come in the picture about halfway down the straightaway. Heading down the back straightaway here at Port Royal. Brewer catches the wall just a little bit, but here comes Szczerzinski in a 23. And they're just going to get together, and they're both going to go for a ride up the wall here at Port Royal. But Brewer had a good run. He's made up about 10 spots, but going to be involved in this caution flag. Caution flag number 5 here at Port Royal. 8 laps left to go, 22 down. And it's been all Tanner Pettit racing up front. Forster led early. Pettit came up and took the lead away, and then Forster found a little bit better groove up on the outside. Pettit made a little bobble there. We kind of missed it when it happened, but Forster was able to get a good run on the outside. Let's see if Pettit changes his line. Hannigan 3rd, Hoffman 4th. Trevor Royer now back to 5th. Ryan Avila's now made his way up to 6th. Winner 2 weeks ago at Houston's. Gunnar Harris has found his way back up towards the front. Now up to 7th, Connor Dudek in the 8th position. Jack Young, Bryce Einstein, Shane Yost, Dakota Young, Richie Gage Jr., Anthony Woodhull, and Jesse Bandy. And I think that's all the cars left on the racetrack. So out of our 24 starters, we got 15 left. Gonna go green flag this time by. Off of turn number 4, it is the 20 of Aiden Forster. Is gonna bring us to the line. Green flag in the air. Forster, Pettit 1 and 2. Pettit back down to the bottom. Forster to the top. Hannigan to the bottom as well. Hannigan looks to be a little bit better on the bottom than Pettit. At least getting into the corner, but just did not have enough room to make a move down there. So here comes Hoffman out of the outside. So Forster, Hoffman on the outside, Pettit, Hannigan on the bottom. The top of the racetrack is definitely better off at turn number 4. Let's see if Pettit can get anything off of 2. They're about even off of turn number 2, but Pettit gets a good run into 3. This is your battle for the lead. Starting to get a little dark through 3 and 4 right there. Side by side off of 4. 5 laps left to go. Forrester, Pettit, Hoffman, Hannigan. That is your battle up front. Warrior right now up to 5th. Harris and Ryan Avila there in the 7th spot. Forrester running the top. Pettit on the bottom. 2 groups working well here at Port Royal. 4 to go as they come across the line. Caution in the air one more time. This time it looks like it may involve the 11 of Richie Gaines Jr. So Forrester able to get back to lead. Pacer are going to come out on the racetrack. We'll see if we can see what happened to Richie. You see the 11 down there on the bottom of the racetrack, right behind the 84, and I bet they're going to get together right here. It looks like Richie might have caught the inside wall a little bit. Here comes Woodhall on the 9 right behind him, and it's Anthony Woodhall just looks like he gets right into the back of Gaines right there. We'll take a look here in a little bit. We'll watch it from the 9's view. So it looks like Gaines kind of got in the wall right there and had to check up. And Woodhall just not able to get slowed up, gets into the back of Gaines, turns him around. All right, that's 6 caution or 7? 6 caution. 6 caution flags tonight here at Port Royal. Forrester, Pettit, Hoffman, that's your top 3. Mason Hannigan. Mason looks like he's found something down there on the bottom, but unfortunately there's been somebody in front of him every time he goes down there. Mason did not make the if memory serves me correctly, he did not make the show last week, so a much better run this week for Mason Hannigan. And the Black Diamond Motorsports number 7. Trevor Warrior right there behind him, Gunnar Harris, Ryan Avila there in 7th. Connor Dudek, Jack Young, and Shane Yost. That rounds out our top 10 right now as we're going to go back to green next time around. We got a 4-car dash here to finish off our feature. All right, let's see what they can find right here. Forrester's been running the top. Tanner Pettit's been on the bottom. Hoffman's been coming in pretty strong at the top of the racetrack the last few laps as well. Let's see how this works out for the Tanner Pettit Racing. 1, 2, 3. 4 laps left to go. Let's see if we can get them all under green flag. Forrester on the throttle off of 4. He's going to bring us to the line. Everybody single file off the bottom of the corner now. Pettit back to the bottom of the racetrack. Hoffman to the top. Hannigan with a big move. He is going to clear Hoffman for 3rd. Watch Hannigan side by side. Hoffman goes back at him down the back straightaway. Hannigan got a really great start. Pettit now is going to get up alongside of Forrester. He's going to take the lead away off of turn number 4. Forrester's going to fight back, come across the line. 2 to go. 2 laps left to go. We're side by side for the lead. Forrester off of 2. Gets a great runs down the hill. Gets a great run off the back straightaway into 3. Pettit, Forrester. It's a drag race to the line. White flag in the air. This time by. If that had been the checkered flag right there, I don't know who'd have won that. That would have been a tie right there. Pettit now got a little bit of pace. Here comes Forrester back on the outside. Hoffman, Hannigan. They're going to come to the line. It's going to be Tanner Pettit down on the bottom. Going to come over and take the win. Back-to-back wins for Tanner Pettit. Aiden Forrester in 2nd. Kenny Hoffman 3rd. Mason Hannigan 4th. Trevor Royer. Let's take a look at that white flag lap one more time. Let me take a little bit, find a good angle of it here. Gonna come across, take the white flag. This is the start of the white flag lap right here. They were dead even at the line. Pettit down on the bottom, Forrester up on top. And Pettit just gets such a great run off of turn number 2. Aiden just does not have anything for him through 3 and 4. And Tanner Pettit's gonna come home with the win. Aiden Forrester, Kenny Hoffman, top 3 here tonight at Port Royal for the Dirty Old Bastards. There's our podium. Let's see if we got anybody in waiting room for us here real quick. All right, Tanner Pettit, you got Chris in the booth. Are you there, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that was a fun one, my friend. I mean, if you take some of those caution flags out of there, that was a hell of a good race right there. You found something that nobody else really found, and you were able to get that car to rotate around the bottom. What did you do different?
Nothing really. I kind of just committed down there the whole race. So once I figured out how much I really had to check up getting into one, I realized that it was actually really good, and I could keep pace with Aiden up there on the top. So I kind of figured if I just stayed at the bottom and did my thing, I had a really good shot at it towards the end, and luckily at the end I was able to hit it really good in 1 and 2 both those times, and kind of helped me get past 20 there.
Well, Tanner Pettit racing 1, 2, 3 again tonight. I think it was 1, 2, 3 top 3 last week as well. But fantastic run right there. I know you guys are in chat together. Normally, was Aiden, you guys talking back and forth there a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. We kind of just decided pretty much what I said. I'll do my thing, you do your thing, and let's see who comes out on top. Because we were really even, and it just came down to whoever could hit it better and who didn't make the mistake and stuff like that. So it was all in all a really fun race. I was really proud to see Kenny Hoffman jumped up there to third, making it a podium, and Bryce Honstein with the hard charger. All in all, made it a great night for the team.
Yeah, Ryan got involved in the caution earlier, did a good job fighting his way back up to 6th. But we come back next week at Eldora. A few more caution flags than I expected here tonight at Port Royal. I think we ended up with 6 cautions. You expect a little bit different next week?
Well, it's kind of tough to say. Some races go green for quite a few laps, and others just don't. Right there, I kind of wish we went green a little longer. I think long runs were a little more beneficial honestly for both lines, but at least for me getting in a rhythm and all that, they kind of threw me out of a rhythm all the time. So not really sure on the cautions. I guess we'll just see.
Well, fantastic run. That was great to see a couple lines forming here tonight. We've so many racetracks, you just kind of see the top working and just throwing haymakers all night long. So really fantastic to see you find that bottom of the racetrack. Just made it a lot more interesting to watch for sure. But hey, man, before you get out of here, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out all my team members, Ashton, Kenny, Aiden, Ryan, Clayton, Blake, Ross, all those guys make it possible for me. Anybody who supports my website, Jimmy P. Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, Aces Up Sim Sports, CD Cinematography, Trackside Collective, Simrap Market, and you guys for putting on the broadcast, and Chris for putting on the race. It's all a blast.
All right, man. Well, congratulations. I'm sure we're going to see you a few more times before the season's over with, so good luck this weekend, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you. See you then.
You bet. All right, Tanner Pettit picking up another win, back-to-back wins here in the Dirty Old Bastards. Second place, Aiden Forrester. Aiden, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Well, just to come up a little bit short right there. You led quite a bit of this race. That top looked to be a little rough off of 2.
Yeah, it was very rough. Kind of was a sitting duck there. Wasn't really sure where to be once Tanner got rolling there on the bottom. I know I probably wasn't going to be able to go to the bottom because he was there. So that last restart, I found the cut down line in 1 and 2, and it was really good. Got to his outside, and I thought I had a chance, but right after we got the white flag lap, I got in the ruts a little bit too much on entry and gave it up, and that was all she wrote for the 20 machine. But can't thank Tanner enough for all he's done for us. Good race there, and it's pretty cool to get a 1, 2, 3 for TPR, and yeah, hopefully we can keep the good runs going and get us another championship.
Yeah, we watched that kind of early. It looked like the top was going to be pretty dominant, and then Tanner found that bottom. It looked like Tanner and Mason were about the only two that really were able to make the bottom work. But watching you roll through coming off of 2, it just looks like it kept getting rougher and rougher, but it did look like you found a little smoother line there with about maybe 10 laps left to go that really helped you out get off of 2.
Yeah, definitely. It was getting rougher, and I had to change it up for sure because couldn't just sit there and let Tanner go. We had to give it a shot. And we gave her our best shot, and we had a really good car once again. And yeah, we just came up short. Hopefully we can get us one of these ones soon.
Well, man, congratulations on another podium finish. That's definitely going to help secure your point lead here coming into next week at Eldora. But before you get out of here, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, most importantly, can't thank Tanner Pettit enough at Tanner Pettit Racing, TPR. He does a lot of work to get us what we need to compete at this level, and all the guys. Can't thank him enough. Can't thank Jimmy P. Tools, 1425 Photography, Aces Up Sim Sports, CD Cinematography, Trackside Collective, Simrap Market. Just everybody that has a role in our team.
Well, congrats on another good run, man, and we will see you next Tuesday night at Eldora.
Thank you. Appreciate it for putting on the broadcast.
You bet, man. All right, we get our third place finisher, Kenny Hoffman. Kenny, are you with me?
Yeah.
My memory serves me correct, is this your first podium of the season?
Yeah, 360 wise.
Excellent.
I don't. Yeah,
Well, great,
I don't
great.
really remember how the season's been so far, honestly.
Well, my good run there tonight. You were kind of up and down, a little bit of a yo-yo. I think you were as far back about 6th or 7th at one point, and you crawled your way back to the top. It looked like you really found a good line up on the top of the racetrack towards the end.
Yeah, for sure. I just kind of forgot how to drive this thing. Honestly, it's just we had a 410 league race here last week for their DOB, and we were absolutely fine there. I mean, I went like 17th a second, I think, in that race. So I don't know. It's just really different feeling in the 360, and just couldn't really figure it out. And then like halfway through, after we got past, just kind of figured out how to drive it again, and we were pretty good there. But that yellow came out like 3 to go, I believe it was. I was kind of slowly reeling in Tanner and Aiden back up, and maybe could have had some magic happen if yellow didn't come out there. But just glad that 3 TPR cars on the podium, and throughout the field too. It's just guys move forward from the back, and Shane and Bryce, and obviously Avila moved up too. So it was a good night for everybody.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun watching you guys just try different lines out there all night long. It's makes for a lot better racing when we can see multi grooves out there. So but yeah, I mean the thing with the 360s, the trickiest part is just keep the momentum up in these things. The 410s, you can make a mistake and you got so much more horsepower to come back with. The 360s, when you make a mistake, it takes a while to get them wound back up.
Yeah, for sure. 360s are, like you said, definitely momentum based, and if you break it, you're kind of out to lunch, especially at a big half mile that's up on the fence usually. Any type of track like that, 360 wise, just 410s too. It's just like you said too, just more power, and in my opinion, I think they're way easier to drive than the 360s. I enjoy those cars way more.
Well, hey man, we're gonna get you out of here. We got another race we got to cover in about 10 minutes. So, but anybody you want to give a shout out to before you go?
Yeah, just of course, just Tanner and the whole team. It's just been really good. Just kind of everywhere we race, and just it's huge props to just Tanner, just what he does for all of us, and obviously guys just kind of putting laps together, racing together, just working together really, and not putting ourselves in bad situations throughout the night. And so huge shout out to him, all of our sponsors, obviously Tanner Pettit Racing, Blake Carrick Racing, Aces Up Sim Sport, Simrat Market, Jimmy P. Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, CD Cinematography, Ethan Johnson, Jordan Casey for with Free Speed for the late model side of things. When thanks for their help, and thanks for broadcasting for us, and Chris, putting up this league for us to race every week. It's a lot of fun for us, so huge props to him.
All right, buddy. Well, good job tonight, and good luck over the rest of the week. And we'll see you next Tuesday night.
Yep, thank you.
All right, we're going to go ahead and close it out here because, like I said, we've got the Western Racing League Truck Series from Bristol coming at you here in about 15 minutes. But we're going to jump back in here and take a quick look at the results, and that's the results from the B-Main. So we'll bring up our feature here. So coming home with the win, Tanner Pettit, that's 2 in a row, picked up the win at Charlotte's going to come home with the win here at Port Royal as well. Aiden Forster, Kenny Hoffman, as we just got done talking to. Mason Hannigan with a good run there in the 4th spot. Trevor Royer is going to come home in 5th. Ryan Avila in the 6th spot. Connor Dudek, Gunnar Harris, Shane Yost, Bryce Heinstein is going to round out your top 10. Then it was Jack Young, Jesse Bandy, Dakota Kuhn, Anthony Woodhull, Richie Gaines the 3rd back in 15th. Spencer Putney, Colton Brewer, Alistair Zinsky, Andrew May, Landon Crawley, all with problems throughout the night. Get back to see our last 4 finishers. Rylan Gray had a good run going tonight, but ends up coming home in 21st. Ryan Scheidt, JP Schreider won the B main, but they only got a few laps here in the A. And Joseph Grandy's going to round out our 24-car field. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get out of here for the Dirty Old Bastards. We'll be back next Tuesday night here at Eldora. But we're going to take about a 10-minute break, and you're going to see us back on here for the Western Racing League Truck Series at Bristol. So for all the rest of us here at DRSN, I want to thank you for choosing to spend your night with us. I know you could have done just about anything else, but I appreciate you being here. My name's Chris Murphy, saying keep it smooth, keep it smart, and if you can't do that, at least keep it entertaining like they did here tonight at Ports Royals. We'll see you next time. Good night for now.